Hello, my friends. I am here with another energy reading for the collective. I want you guys to please only take what resonates and leave the rest out. Know that these readings are meant to inspire you and give you any kind of clarity that you can gain from them, and only take what resonates. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first card we got on the reading is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is an energy that I can get pretty frustrated with, the Seven of Wands, because it's an energy that talks about you establishing your boundaries and kind of going against the current to protect what you believe, what you feel is right for you, right? So it's an energy of swimming against the current. It could feel like an uphill battle. It could feel like you're going against the norms, the status quo, the opinions of others, your relationships, your family. It could just feel quite lonely at times because you are really standing on your own with what you believe in. Right now, it might feel like you are not supported. It might feel like you are having to protect and defend yourself. And it feels quite exhausting. So that's why I get frustrated with this energy, because it is tiring. It is exhausting to have to, navigate these people that might not approve of what you're doing, and that feel they have the right to even think they have a sense of approval or not. And this is about you rising above that and simply standing 10 toes deep on what it is that you believe in. And I feel for you if you're going through this, because it feels like your voice is being taken away, but you are going to get even louder because no one's going to take away your voice. And that's what I'm seeing here. At times, though, with the clarifiers here, in order to protect your sanity, let me grab these cards here. In order to protect your sanity, in order to protect your emotional well-being, 10 of Cups, you have to walk away, Six of Swords, right? So this is about understanding that sometimes you're not going to get people to understand your point of view. You're not even going to get them to agree to disagree. This is simply about waving the white flag and moving forward. So focusing on you, what you need to do, what your vision is, what you truly believe in. You focus on that. And if it means you have to walk away from someone or something, then you do the necessary steps to, protect your well-being. And it's interesting because the 10 of Cups shows that emotional fulfillment. And I feel like at times with this friction, this energy, it might not feel emotionally fulfilling right now. And I feel like what Spirit is saying is that this might not have an instant gratification. It might be a long term process. So this is not a race, it's a marathon, Spirit is saying. And Spirit is saying to not give up on your dreams, to not give up on the things that you really want to do, to not allow people to put you in a box, and to focus on you developing the courage to be in your authentic light, to live for who you are, right? So for some of you guys, this might literally mean like someone's disapproving of you moving, or someone's disapproving of the career that you have chosen, or someone's disapproving of a relationship that you have, or someone's disapproving of your belief system. Is that deep, right? This energy of, people really wanting to tell you or control you. And Spirit wants you to stand firm, even if it feels like you might be in solitude for some time, okay? And going into why this is happening, you have here the Empress. And the Empress is an energy of receiving, of abundance, of embodiment. And this is an energy of expansion. So I feel like it's coming. But like I said, it's a long-term process. The Empress shows that you need to be patient with the process. And it also shows that to believe is one thing, but to embody is another. So not only do you have to believe in yourself, but you have to fully become the person that wants to do what you want to do, right? So if you want to be, I don't know, an anthropologist, then you become that person that studies and that does everything that an anthropologist wants to do, even if your family may think that that career doesn't pay. You know what I mean? Like, You do what you want to do. You become the person that you want to be by doing the things that that ideal person would do, right? And you have to also focus on the mindset, because with the Six of Swords, this is also a mind battle. Okay. And the Six of Swords wants you to walk away from the things that is restricting you, and the things that keep you in chasing hollow victories, right? What I mean by that is proving people right. Proving your point to people that are going against you, like having these really pointless arguments and expressing your opinion about something to someone that doesn't care about what you're saying. Spirit is saying that's irrelevant. Move forward and preserve your energy. Preserve your energy, because you're going to need it. And also, this Five of Pentacles here showing up with the Empress is saying that there is some deep wounds that we have to heal about lacking things, about feeling like things are going to be difficult, about feeling like, there's only a certain way of things being. The Five of Pentacles shows having a lack mindset and all, and not just a lack mindset, because I feel like that sounds so like, oh, you have a lack mindset. That's not it, right? The Five of Pentacles is about, it's like, let's say you are, I don't know, let's say you're watching a TV show and you're always watching that TV show and you love that TV show, and you don't want to watch a new TV show because you're afraid that it's not going to be as good as this TV show, and it's not going to give you that satisfaction that you're looking for from when you're watching the TV show you watch, right? And let's say you have rewatched it for 5 or 7 times, like me with Vampire Diaries. And you don't take a chance on looking at another show because you just feel like you're not going to get that satisfaction. That's a lack mindset. Like, you're not going to open yourself to look at another TV show. Even though you have looked at this one for 5 times, you're not going to open yourself to a new one. What if it really blows your mind? That's what I'm talking about with this, with the lack mindset. So sometimes we have lack mindset because we only know what's familiar to us. So sometimes breaking out of those comfort zones are very difficult, and it's because we don't know where to begin. And that's where I see the Seven of Cups. Let me grab it right here. The Seven of Cups is like not knowing when to start. Seven of Cups is confusion, not knowing how to move forward. So when people say, oh, people have lack mindsets, whatever. Well, that's great and all, but what if someone has not been exposed to a whole different type of life, or to hold a certain level of money or abundance? If someone has not been exposed to that, how can they physically break out of a lack mindset? It's just not that simple, unless you are aware that you only see a fraction of what's available to you. So then when you're aware that you don't know everything, that's when the lack mindset goes away. So the lack mindset is not about knowing more. It's about realizing that you don't know it all. Does that make sense? And that's what this card is trying to tell you with the Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. I don't know where to go from here. So the Empress is saying you don't have to know more. You just have to know that you don't know everything. So you can be open to receiving. And that is the biggest message here. To get out of this situation of people, not even people, but of just being in this box of what you are familiar with, right? Because right now, the person that resonates with this reading is someone that wants to break out of it. That's why you are in the resistance. That's why you're willing to fight the fight, because you're ready to break out of this. And sometimes we're ready to break out of it, but then we're like, so what's next? I know this, I know how to do X, Y, and Z, but what's next? And that's okay, because at least you know that you don't know everything. And that's going to open you up to new knowledge. And you can get new knowledge. Literally, we have this really beautiful tool called the internet. You can really go traditional, go to libraries, go to conferences, go to job fairs, do what you have to do, take a seminar, do what you have to do. If you want to be a painter, you have to start with one class. Even if it's a mediocre class, you have to start somewhere, right? It's about getting out of that comfort zone, okay? Now, the message from Spirit here is the Hermit. And like I said, this is kind of like a lonely ride, you guys. This is not easy. This is not going to be easy. I'm telling you right now. The Hermit is the message from Spirit. Spirit is asking you to go within, to follow your inner lantern, to be comfortable in being uncomfortable. Meaning, this is not a time to be telling people your plans, to be bragging about what you got out of. This is a time to preserve your energy and shield yourself. Okay, shield yourself from the criticism of others, from the opinion of others. This is a private moment. This is intimate. This is you, between you and you, right? Between you and God, you know? And this is about you going within and formulating that feeling of, I know what to do, right? And that's only going to come from within. That's only going to come from being in solitude, from doing the investigation from within, because that gives you the motivation to continue to search through all of the resources that we have available to us. So that is the vibe here. And then the star is saying you have to believe in yourself, okay? Believe in yourself. Look at that. It doesn't want to even. There we go. Believe in yourself. Know that you are the answer because you have the answer. And also, guys, this is about take the break when you need to take the break. Rest, rejuvenate, make sure that you're tending to your human shell because we are only human after all, okay? And then you have here with the same card, clarifier, Ace of Swords. And Ace of Swords speaks of mental clarity and getting the breakthrough, the light bulb moment. But it all comes when you make the time to go within. Okay. What does going within look like? I can tell you for myself. Obviously, I'm a tarot reader. So for me to go within, it means I have to do my meditation in the morning. I pull a tarot card. I journal. Sometimes I do meditation. I journal. And then I do a tarot card because sometimes in my meditations, I get certain revelations. I get visions and I write it all down. Right? That's me tapping within. That's me giving myself the opportunity to connect with my higher self. But that's my practice. For some of you guys, it might look like exercise. I know a lot of psychic mediums that, they do physical activity for grounding, right? Because they're so hypersensitive that they have to get in the body. I also know many practitioners that they actually do like practices like Reiki, sound healing to ground. And then I also know the purest form of it all, in my opinion, is prayer. You pray for clarity. You pray for guidance. You connect with the divine. You connect with the higher source. You connect with God, whatever you want to call it. That goes a long way, you guys. You just got to create those rituals for yourself. Okay. Now, we have here as the outcome, Ace of Pentacles. So, oh my God, why is it not focusing? There we go. Ace of Pentacles. And this is, like people say, a new beginning. Oh, the Ace of Pentacles does symbolize a clean slate, of course. But this is not just a new beginning. This is the commitment to working hard. This is the commitment to nurturing a seed of opportunity. This is where everything looks green right now. Think about you buying an acre of land and there's nothing on that land, but you know you got plans. That's the Ace of Pentacles. So it's slow moving, but it's secure. And if you invest yourself into it, you will see the results that you're looking for, but it's not without the gift of patience and it's not without hard work. Okay. And then you have here the Knight of Swords. Okay. So the Knight of Swords, I feel like I see this as enthusiasm for some of you guys. Like, oh yeah, I'm ready to get the show started. But for others, this can also translate as impatience. So be careful with that. You know, you have the air element as well with the earth element. Those two are very, very complete opposites. Air is very fast. Earth is slow moving, right? Also, for some of you guys, the Knight of Swords can indicate potential news coming your way. Okay, it could be in news. It could be that this is an opportunity that's being presented to you. All right. But like I said, it requires that level of patience, that level of dedication, and that level of commitment. But the most important thing here is because we are, talking about a reading here that's all about believing in what you're doing. So when you believe in what you do, you know that That's a prerequisite. It's the patience, the investing the time into it, the nurturing, the, really pouring into this new seed of opportunity that comes with it. So I don't really feel like that's going to be an obstacle. If anything, it's going to give you the journey of experience. Okay. So with that being said, I think I'm going to close it out here. Please let me know if this reading resonated with you guys. If it did, I would like for you to drop me a comment down below. Like and subscribe if you feel called to, please. I truly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on your next reading. Okay. Bye.